Today we're going to be using Snapseed, a free photo editing application that's currently owned and operated by Google. It's available on the Google Play Store and on the iOS App Store, so if you use an iPhone you can use this as well. What we're going to do today is we're going to try and make this nighttime photo seem a little bit more true to life. We're going to try and make some of those details pop and make the color seem a little bit more accurate to if you were to step outside and look over the nighttime sky, what would it really look like? The first thing that I notice is that the colors are way too warm. And when I look at it, it seems like the sky is almost a sort of purple color. The grass seems like a golden green, and I think that if we just do a color temperature adjustment, that's going to fix that already. Also, some of the details seem too soft, and I think that if we increase the structure tool, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this tab right here. It's the Edit tab. We're going to go to Tune Image, and we're going to pull on the left. First, we have to go to Warmth. So that's the very last item in this menu. You can get to it just by swiping up and down on your screen. And if you can't do that, then you can always tap on the bottom and it'll bring up this menu as well. So I'm used to these shortcuts, so if you just see me tap and a menu appears, that's what that's doing if you haven't used Snapseed before. I'm going to pull to the left on the warmth, and if I go too far, it starts to look really artificial. The sky looks pure blue, which looks very weird, and then the ground almost starts to become like this teal blue color, and the lights become way too yellow. You want to keep some of that warmth, and so I kind of like going at quarter steps, so I'm going to set this at minus 25, with minus 100 being as high as you can go. So we're about a quarter of the way there. I can check the before and after by tapping in this top right corner, and you can see before that sky had that magenta color, that sort of purple hue to it, and if I release now, it's more of a pure blue, but there's still some hints of red in there to where it doesn't look artificial. And now the grass is a true green. Before we had a bit of a golden color, and that's where it is now. Now that we've got that edit completed, once we hit that check mark in the bottom right, you can tap on the image itself and it'll show you those edits. But as long as you're currently editing, it will not let you tap on the image itself. You have to tap on the upper right corner. The next thing that we're gonna do, this is the last step really in terms of things to make this look more true to life, is we're gonna go to the details and we're gonna adjust the structure. Now if I pull the structure all the way to the right, it looks pretty artificial. It starts to give this sort of glow above the mountains and similarly above the trees. And I don't want that. And there's also almost a shadow being cast above the clouds, which doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And so now if I pull back down to where we were before, you can see there's no real glow above the mountains to that extent, and same thing above the trees. And so now we're gonna push to the right, maybe about a quarter of the way. Let's see how it looks there. So now we can check the before and after, and it starts to look a lot more detailed. I could maybe go even a little bit further, maybe not quite halfway. And now we can see that adjustment being made. So here's the before, and here's after. You can see the details in the trees change dramatically. Same thing with the grass down here at the bottom. So same thing, if I tap that, here's before, and here's after. I might lower it just a little bit to keep it look a little bit more natural. And I'm gonna go ahead and approve that. And now I can see the entire before and after of where we were. So now this is the before image. Here's the magenta reddish color, and we've kind of neutralized that and added more detail, and it looks a lot more natural. There is one more optional step that you can do to make this maybe look a little bit more magical. It still looks natural, and it kind of cancels out some of those structure changes that we did, but this is completely optional. We're actually going to go to this tool called Glamour Glow, which I believe is probably designed to enhance portraits. It makes the skin look a little bit more even. It makes it pop out a little bit more, but we're actually going to use it to edit this nighttime photograph. So you can see what it's done already. If we hide those filter options, here's the before and here's the after. And the reason why I like this tool is it kind of diffuses the glow that's caused around the top of the tree here. So here's that before. It looks kind of over detailed at night, and then this kind of neutralizes it. It diffuses it, it spreads it out, and then I also like it causes this gradient in the sky. So if you look at the top, it just looks kind of like a flat blue color, and then if you see where we are after, there's sort of a light glow right above the mountains that looks a lot more natural than when we just had the structure tool applied. And it sort of diffuses some of these lights down at the bottom too. So if I tap on the top right corner again, you can see this is the before, and then after it sort of softens up the lights that are off in the distance as well. And so now if we go ahead and okay this, here's your after image. So now let's look at before, and here's after. And I think this is a very nice, natural looking nighttime image. You can add all kinds of filters that you want over the top of this, but I think if you're just trying to get a nice, natural looking image with colors that are true to life, that's how you can do that in Snapseed.